Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the Village, Facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
So we are in the middle of the Agents of Ardagio group band. You can send me a video pronouncing that properly if you want.
Adagio.
And the next song on the list that we're about to do is the Birthday Massacre.
The Birthday Massacre.
The song is called Broken, and this is for the big homie or homette, Bloody Voodoo Dolls.
There you are!
You remember Bloody Voodoo Dolls?
The Birthday Massacre, Broken, let's go.
Oh! I didn't know. I'm with it. Oh, I love this! Ah!
Okay, let's see a big breakdown here. Let's go. Yes! Yes!
That was
Such
so good.
a good song.
Loved that one. Loved that one.
Yeah,
Loved it.
I was like, oh yeah, the breakdown's gonna be a breakdown. You know how many times I've done that and I'm like, disappointed.
Yes, it's true. It's so true.
Because the band was trying to build it up,
Yeah.
and then like it's all anticlimactic. It's like we're going in a different direction.
Oh my gosh.
Loved the vocals.
Literally, yeah. Oh, yes. Is the word ethereal?
Yes. Is that a Nigerian flag between y'all's heads? If you're talking about this little picture right here, that is the symbol of the agents of Adagio.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you posted
Adagio.
somebody's comment up there and it was in their comment.
Very possible.
So, not sure.
Very, very, very possible. Okay.
When she said the first line, time is the promise, that was it. I was sold. Completely sold.
She's a badass with them words, bro. All right. Yeah. What? I sent the Vrindavan one. Mm-hmm. Sent that to CB. He was like, "Yo, you good with your words, man."
He's very good with his words.
I'll send you straight to Vrindavan.
It makes art very good, but arguments very terrible. I'm like, I lost again. Although Peterson said
Look,
you're not
see,
supposed to look at arguments that way.
Look at the delay. Look at his delay. You see the delay?
Yeah.
Okay. Time is a promise. It turns and tells them what to do. It makes them dishonest. They let suspicion kill the truth. Time is the promise. I'm assuming that means the person was saying, I'll be with you forever, which is a measure of time, right?
Yeah.
So time is the promise, but it got broken because over time, basically. That's really interesting. So he promised her all of his time, I'll be with you forever. Mm-hmm. But then time itself is the primary agent that destroyed the relationship, I think is the first stanza, which is massively
I'm sorry.
Crazy.
Whenever I'm in an odd mood. You remember we watched that episode of he's got the gray hair and he's terrible to his wife. He lies to her all the time. That show, he's an old man.
Yes.
What's that? What's the name of
I
it?
don't want to say it because I don't want somebody to,
okay.
to
Well,
rack us spoilers.
in the show, you remember that episode where he doesn't want to say that he'll be with her forever and eternity? Because he feels that's just too much. Like, why can't she just be happy with, like, forever here on Earth? Like, why does he have to commit himself to the future? And they're going to renew their vows and he just does not want to say it. He's so terrible. But that's what it reminded me of when you were saying about the promise thing.
Amy, I've never been to Vrindavan, but I've been pretty close to Vrindavan. Literally and spiritually, I've been pretty close to Vrindavan. This, I think, is a relationship song, babe. Time is a promise. It turns and tells them what it makes them. They let suspicion kill the truth. Man, there's...
Okay, that line is really good, especially for... You know, like, if you're, like, a jealous sort of superstitious person? No, I've been doing a lot better with that, babe. Don't make those eyes like that.
I didn't say it was you.
I know that I am by nature like that, and I always have suspicions and blah, blah, blah.
But they're always so irrational. Look at her, and then look at me. Do you think I'd do anything to screw this up? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're so irrational.
No, it's not really that irrational because I know beauty fades with age and weight. It all can change. It all changes in a matter of years.
Well, if you were concerned about that for the future, sure. But I don't understand how you could be concerned about, like, currently now. It's like we're in an obvious mismatch. I'm not gonna.
No, I don't feel like we're mismatched. I literally feel like you're the most amazing person. I feel very lucky that we're together.
I'm just talking about physically. there's an obvious mismatch physically. And look at me, and look at you. They go, holy shit, how'd that guy end up with that girl? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I mean.
Anyway, so I think that's what they're talking about there. It makes them dishonest. They let the suspicion kill the truth. Mm-hmm. Because if you let your suspicions and whatever tell you what's going on instead of actually being based in the truth, then all of a sudden, it's very weird how when you want to believe something, or maybe you don't want to believe something, or maybe you want to protect yourself from what might happen or what could happen, maybe when you're living that sort of a life, like, you can find a lot of things that match your suspicions. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to believe the world is all bad, then you're going to see how terrible the world is. Like, there's literally days where I'll be like, I can't see the bad of humanity today. And so I'm like, I have to look for, and so then I will on purpose look, the New York one. What's that one? That New York Facebook thing where they show you like good things that humans of New York. Humans of New York. It's like stuff like that, like where I just want to see like the good of humanity. But you'll see what you want to see. You really will in lots of different situations. So
It's true. Broken heart, broken mind. When you let me in, did you not know where I'd been?
Oh God.
That's a good line.
It is a good line.
Because we were just talking about this. I had a friend, and she was always like relationship to relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she could never be alone.
Yep.
And I was like, Jay, why can't you just chill, man? Give yourself some time. Like, her dad dies. Her dad was the most important thing on the planet to her. And so it completely spun her out. She became just clingy and other things to her boyfriend because her dad had just died. It makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The guy was like not feeling that. He was very angry about it. He would let her know, like, you're too clingy. And she's like, I told you where I was at when we started the relationship. So that's what it reminded me of, like right here where it says,
when he says, did you not know where I'd been?
When you let me in, did you not know where I'd been? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, I say that a lot, right? Don't I say, shout out to Tina Bonina. Yeah. So
you said you say that a lot. You said that you say something a lot, and you were asking me if you do. What? You say what a lot? I've never heard you say that about yourself. Or
say what?
This line. Did you not know where I'd been?
No, but what I say is that nobody surprises anybody. She's saying, did you not know where I'd been? Why are you acting like this is some new shit? Because a lot of people act like, oh, this person's on some new shit. No, they're not. They've been like that right in front of you, bro. Same thing with the girl. So, yeah. So she's saying, why are you making this a deal breaker of the relationship when I told you I had issues? But a lot of that has to do with what we think the purposes of relationships.
Oh my God, the next line's crazy. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I saw. Okay, so I pulled this out because this is something I would have just thought was so great, like a year, 6 months or two a year ago, and now I'm like, no, this is not good. It said jealousy is a good indication that you're doing things the right way. People never get jealous of losers.
I think what they're talking about.
That's talking about like work wise or other types.
They're talking about player haters. Haters, people who were trying to, you know what I'm saying?
But shit. You see there's that girl in the background, so it still was like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, no, that wouldn't be healthy in a relationship. But in this, it says, and love is what they wasted. A lie that makes their dreams come true. They're hiding their faces. Their smiles can break the heart in two. So we were talking about the animus thing, like within yourself. Basically, I'm just going to give you a sorry version of it. It's that you have within yourself an ideal, a desire that you have for another person, and you want them to fit these check marks of what it is that you're looking for.
But in normal Jungian understanding, there is a male principle in females that was the animus, and then the female principle in the male, which is the anima.
Yeah, I got that, but I'm not saying it because I'm not even sure I agree with that, because I think that you can have, well, what if you're a female and that the inside is more feminine than it is masculine, and so I just don't know if because you're necessarily female that there's necessarily a male counterpart in your mind. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm just explaining the animus and the
so
anima.
he'll get behind it.
The anima and the animus.
Drop all the facts for you guys. I'm just giving you the sorry version.
Yeah, go ahead.
So so you have this ideal of what you want in a person, and you're looking for that ideal. And nobody's going to perfectly fit your ideal, because it's not like you're like, and I really hope that the person's moody and that they lose the cap on the toothpaste and that they, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to say those things, and that's not going to be part of what you're looking for in the other person. You have the ideals of all the great and amazing things that they're going to be. And then, people project that out. So they get in a relationship and then they project that out on Facebook, on social media. Everything's so perfect. We're so great. Well, we're not like that. You guys see us in the fighting days too. But, you know, people will do that. They'll kind of put everything out there like that. But what you are doing, there's like a part of your consciousness that is just taking all the things about the person that fits into that ideal that you have in your head, and you're like, oh yeah, they're that ideal person that I have in my head, the person that I've wanted. But then there's another part of you that's like, yeah, but they're moody. Yeah, but they, you know, they're jealous. Yeah, but they're, you know what I mean? But so then you choose and you make a decision where you're either going to morph that person together and say, yep, they have these awesome traits and they have these shitty traits. And that is what makes that person. Right. And am I going to love that person for who they are? Or am I going to continue to separate the person, which you can't love somebody fully if you've separated them, just looked at their ideal self. So then, you know, let's say somebody's in a bad relationship and they knew from the beginning the person was probably going to cheat on them, but they kept going with it, and they only focused on the good stuff about the person and only would focus on the negative when they were face to face with it. Like, okay, I'm seeing this. Maybe in their phone you see that they've been, you know, texting some other person and sharing relationship stuff, like maybe they're in that sort of place. And so you're like, oh no, like that's the type of, so then you have to decide, like, are you going to put that together, have that conversation with the person, or are you going to continue to separate it? And one of your consciousness is still going to worship the ground they walk on, while the other one is going to completely hate the person. And so when it said broken heart, broken mind, when you let me in, do you know where I've been? And loves what they wasted, a lie that makes their dreams come true. And so I think the lie that makes the dreams come true is the lie that they're not the negative stuff that they see in the person, that they are only that ideal person. But you waste love in that. It says they're hiding their faces, their smiles can break the heart in two. So I think for me, that part was just like not, you know, just seeing the ideal version of the person. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm listening.
And so that makes it so that way love gets wasted and stuff. Anyway, go ahead. Your turn.
No, I think you basically said it all. I think that, you know, it's a very, very tough balance. So for example, Dorian, girls are starting to become really interested in him. There was a particular girl that was in a bad situation, and so she started unloading on Dorian her issues. It's completely valid. I completely understand it. The problem is that Dorian has a very challenging person in his life that is sucking up all his bandwidth, and he knows intuitively, I don't have the strength to carry you. Mm-hmm. So he just stopped talking to her.
But he's such a caring person. And he's so tall and stuff. Like, I can totally see why somebody would say, okay, this is the person I need to talk to. Right. You know, so. Right.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm certain, you know, he doesn't have those situations. Then he would probably, but see, his thing is, Dad, you saw that she had issues and you married her anyway, and it caused all this pain for all of us. So he's not going to, in his mind, make that same mistake again. So that's his thing. He's just not going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I respect it and I understand it. But at the same time, it's like when he becomes a man, like, I don't think your girl having a mental illness here and there should be a disqualifier for being with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to.
Doesn't everybody have some issue?
Yeah.
If I really think that, I used to think that if somebody had no mental illness, that was the place to be at. Right. But now I'm kind of like, wait a minute. If somebody has no mental illness in the world that we're in, that means they probably have something massive that's hiding.
Well, like, I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't think we could probably characterize Jesus as having a mental illness.
Jesus is not us. He's not a human being like us. I mean, he was 100%, but he was also God. Of course he's not going to be like that. I'm talking about regular people. I'm not talking about God.
Jesus got hungry, he got tired. The physical world definitely had an effect on him.
But not in the...
What do you mean? You think he was hungry in a different way?
No, I don't. I just don't think that... I feel like mental illness is the effects of the fall on us, and I don't think that Jesus' mind could deteriorate like that.
Why?
Because he was God.
Well, how did he die?
It says that he gave up
Right.
To
So
the
if
father.
he voluntarily eschews that attribute, then it's not a problem, right?
So you think he struggled with mental illness?
I think it's possible. I think it's possibly struggled with depression. Why wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, I do think he struggled
It's
with
not
depression.
sinful to have a mental illness.
Yeah. Yeah, but this goes back to when I said, you think people are going to trip in heaven? And you were like, of course they're going to trip in heaven.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You're like, is tripping sinful? I'm like, no, tripping's not sinful, but it's not perfection.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it's another version of that conversation. So I don't know if I agree with you or not, but...
Will there be chess? Because then nobody could win. From that paradigm, nobody could ever win anything.
Right, somebody would have to make the wrong move. Yeah, I don't know. Because I do think that he had depression. Especially when you look at his pattern.
So do I.
And I think he handled it well because he would just go off for...
He did. He managed it really, really well.
Do you ever wish you could just go off for like 40 days like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the pattern here. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tasco's right here. Isn't the point of God coming down is to gain human experience firsthand, mental illness and all? Yeah, I mean, the Bible... later, Champy, the Bible explicitly said that Jesus was made in all points just like us, except for without sin.
Yeah.
So that he could be a merciful high priest.
Yeah.
Right? So merciful high priest means it's Jesus' job to speak on Tasco's behalf. Right? So Jesus up there saying, give Tasco another day, give him repentance, bring him home, blah, 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 blah. Right? So that's his job. Whether or not you believe in him from a Christian vantage point, it would be important to say that Jesus suffered with manic depression and bipolar disorder and whatever.
Oh,
that would be very life-giving to somebody who struggles with mental illness.
It would, yeah.
Especially in the church where they try to spiritualize a physical issue and then try to make a person look bad because they can't just get over their depression. So...
Yeah, that is so interesting. I really didn't consider that.
Yeah.
But I guess I could throw in with you on that. Genuinely, I think that I could, because I do think that when you read it, you do see what it looks like depression.
I mean, the man of sorrows acquainted with grief. So, I mean,
So would you, okay, maybe I'm taking this too far. Do you think that Jesus would have ever struggled with suicidal thoughts?
Sure. I mean, it's a little bit different with him because suicide to him would just be him,
not completing the mission,
breaking out and taking back his own divine authority to do whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. Which he was well within his rights to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could have. Yeah, CB, we'll chop it up, bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh, so interesting. Something I really never. Do you have any verses to go along with that more? Well, like, I'm thinking about when he would go off by himself.
Is Isaiah 42 when he's talking to God? He said, I spent my strength in vain. I did all this for nothing.
Right.
That's a very human, almost despairing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't true. You didn't spend your strength in vain. What are you talking about? But that's where he was in that moment. So that's what I'm saying is that, and that's not sinful to say that.
And so that goes to that whole, like, being honest.
Correct.
It's not sinful.
Correct.
Because that's how he thought or felt.
Do I believe that religion is a major contributor to people not seeking help for mental health issues? Almost exclusively Christians in the West.
Oh, yeah.
A Muslim gets sick, they're going to the hospital, inshallah.
For mental illness?
Anything.
There's a category for that for them?
Yeah, for sure.
I know I was told that Christians were not supposed to have depression. And I struggled with depression for as far back as I can remember, even when I was like a baby.
Yeah.
I was like waking up crying in my crib every morning.
Yeah. What do you get the song?
Oh, it's an 11 for me.
Really?
It's an 11 because this one is so good, and that's all I'll say about it. I'll tell you more later.
Okay. There you are, dear listener.
So what did you give it? I gave it an 11.
I gave it a 9.89.
How can you give it a 9.89?
Because I can.
Yeah, but are you sure that that's what you really wanted? I feel like that you're being dishonest.
Then out.
Sorry, out.
Down.